And I'll tell you exactly why. They're there on the firing line. It's a matter of survival. Israel's been in a whole series of wars in 1949 and 67 and 73, but they could only lose one more. They lose one more, a few million people surrounded by more than 100,000 Arabs, and Saudi Arabia is still at war with Israel, as is Syria. So I'm not about to tell them what they ought to do. They know their business, and they're going to make their own decision. And President Obama doesn't need to be urged to take a tougher stand. He's a guy who knows what to do himself. But that's where I stand.
Books and pencils. I'm not sure what threat they oppose to Israel's security. And you also voted against the independent human rights investigation by the Goldstone report, which implicated the Palestinians and the Israelis in human rights crimes. I mean, why did you vote against that report? I guess my basic question is, like, how much are you concerned with human rights in your foreign policy?
Well,
and the Goldstone report?
How much am I concerned with human rights? I'll answer all your questions. I'm very much concerned with human rights, and I proved that by being the leader of the civil rights movement in the United States. I proved that by taking the lead in the legislation for a holiday for Dr. Martin Luther King.
But on the question of Israel, I'm sorry, this is my last question. On the question of Israel, foreign policy specifically, on Israel, human rights.
Well, I heard your question.
Still didn't hear an answer.
I'll give you my answer. And I'll come to Israel. Well, I'll start with Israel. I'll start with the Sudan, and I'll start with Rhodesia. And I have been supportive of the Palestinian organization. Yasser Arafat came to my office. If you have my book, Passion for Truth, I met with him. If the funds were strictly limited for internal development and civilian purposes and developing the economy of the Palestinian government, I was supportive of that. I'm on the record having voted for it. But when you have Hamas in control of Gaza, pledged to defeat Israel, to annihilate Israel, shelling southern Israel, I'm not going to ease up on it. And my record on human rights in the United States is relevant to that. I've got a long-standing record in support of civil rights and human rights, and I take second place to nobody. Want to ask another question? Go ahead.
Sure. Why did you vote down against the Goldstone report?
Because it was one-sided.
Could you be more specific? Could you be more specific how it was one-sided?
What's that?
Could you be specific how it was one-sided? Did you read the report?
It was very biased in favor of Hamas.
Could you be specific, though? I mean, I read it, I didn't see that, and I have a copy of it here.
Well, read it again.
Over 1,300 Palestinians have been killed. At least half of the dead are women and children. More than 5,000 are wounded. In hospitals, signs of pain still remain.
The question that has to be asked is, for all those children and all those innocent people who have been killed in this conflict, were they war crimes? Were they war crimes?
That within the occupied territories, Palestinian land, that there is a horrendous example of apartheid. Persecution of the Palestinians now under the occupied territories under the occupation forces is one of the worst examples of human rights deprivation that I know.